What's going on, guys? Welcome to another On Point Sports podcast. Today we're going to talk about the NBA. I'm here with Adam. Say what's up, Adam.
What's up?
All right.
All right.
So 2 days ago, as of the day we're recording this, sorry for my bad English, which was December 15th, it was an official day to trade um, free agents signed in the off season, right?
Yep. So the
So there's
likes
been
of
a
like Kimba and stuff like that.
yeah, okay. So there's a lot of talk about who's going to get traded since that day. Um,
Yep.
who do you think is going to get traded, Adam?
So we had a top five list. Do you have your top five list or not yet?
I don't necessarily have a top
But
five,
you
like
have a
none
good
of them
amount
in
of people.
order, but I have
Yeah,
like
but like
I have
a good
I
amount of
have an
people.
idea. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll just go down my list. I didn't really think about the order either, but I actually have a few more than five. But the first one that we talked about, at least, I was thinking Kyle Lowry or Mark Gasol, kind of from the Raptors,
What?
just because they are doing really well. But just the fact that I believe Lowry is on his final deal of his contract, if not one more or a few more years, as well as Gasol is just about the same. And they're both kind of getting up there in age. And I was actually hearing that obviously they have Siakam and some other young guys that they'd want to bring into the future, but then maybe you could, because right now I don't think the Raptors are going to make it far in the playoffs. Or if you want to say they will, they're not going to win the championship, in my opinion,
Hmm.
which they're thinking is why maybe trade Lowry or Gasol to a person who's trying to contend for the title, and then you can get a pick back or a young player, and
So
then
you
if
think the Raptors should start rebuilding? Sorry to
I
cut you
don't
off.
know about rebuilding, but I would
Because you
say
want to get rid of your.
trade
I would
some of the
argue that
older
Marc Gasol
people.
is one of your better players.
You'd say,
You would
but
you would recommend the. Well,
I
you're not.
think
Oh, you're not
go ahead.
recommending, but you're like you saying
I'm
they
thinking they're going to. I think I heard something somewhere that Lowry and Gasol were kind of possibly to be possible contenders for a trade. I don't know if that makes sense.
yeah.
But yeah, because you could trade them to any other team trying to contend for the title and then get a pick back. Because right now with this team, I don't think they'll win the championship. But if you get a good lottery pick to put alongside Siakam, then you start thinking in the future, keep adding pieces, and maybe you can get somewhere. And also, apparently, they are interested in Giannis in 2021, I believe, when he's a free agent.
The Raptors.
Yeah, which I believe these contracts
That's not
might
gonna work.
be involved with that or something like that. I need to find out when the two of their contracts end. But who did you have?
Uh, so you said either Kyle Lowry or Marc Gasol.
Yeah.
That counts as one or two.
I mean, I don't know. You can just put that as number five.
Five. Okay. Well, there are no specific order, like I
No.
said, but I'm gonna shift gears over to the West Coast. Not
Mm-hmm.
West Coast, the Western Conference. I'm gonna say Chris Paul is gonna get
Chris Paul.
traded. I think everyone saw it coming in. Chris Paul didn't really look like he wanted to be in Oklahoma to start the season, and none of
Mm-hmm.
us really thought it would happen. But yeah, I think Chris Paul will get traded to like the Heat,
The Heat. Yeah.
but I don't think the Heat need
I
Chris
don't. I don't
Paul.
know if they would do that though, just because of
No,
the big
yeah.
deal, and then
Coming into the season when Chris Paul was traded to Oklahoma, I was thinking like he would go to the Heat because I didn't know Kendrick Nunn would be as good as he is now.
yeah, or
But
they have like Duncan Robinson, Tyler Harrow, Bam's
yeah,
playing great.
yeah. So now I'm kind of thinking the Heat aren't really a team
Yeah.
that would go for Chris Paul. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Chris Paul is just like you think he's on the decline in his career. Like there's no not
Well, I
necessarily
think
worth
he is,
to have him
or
on your team, but
at least during this year and going on, because he is getting up there in age, at least for a basketball player.
yeah.
And I think just they have so many picks right now where they don't need to trade him, and he can kind of be a mentor to those younger guys. But I
Do you think he would
wouldn't.
accept that role though?
I think he's kind of already accepted that. I think that's kind of, and they're also winning games, or at least enough to make the playoffs right now. I think it was.
Yeah, they're in the eighth seed.
Um, yeah. So, but I think it's kind of a back and forth because I'm pretty sure they've said that they're not interested in trading Chris Paul, but that's also what I believe Daryl Morey said to Chris Paul before they traded him for Westbrook. So you can't
Oh,
really
yeah.
ever really know, because they probably want to keep Chris Paul, but if they're offered something good enough, they're not going to hesitate, I don't think. And even though it's weird kind of where they're at right now,
Yeah.
because they're a team that going into the season we said, all right, Chris Paul will be there. They'll probably trade him for more picks or something like that, and then the younger guys will start winning them games eventually, and they'll be at the bottom. But they end up being the playoff team right now, at least. But they are, I believe, like 1 or 2 games out of being like at the bottom, like we were saying.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I definitely could see him getting traded, but I feel like the not later in the season, but the more seasons passing by, I feel like he could have a higher chance of being traded just because of how big his contract is, and eventually it'll be less years with so much money going into the future. So I think maybe not this year he'll be traded, but I could definitely see him in the next few years being traded, just because.
Looking at it now, I don't really think he will get traded.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna keep him on that list.
Yeah, he's definitely someone whose name is gonna be out there in a
Yeah.
few months.
Maybe he'll team up with LeBron or something because they're good friends.
Would he though? I don't think they can have that contract for the Lakers.
I don't think Chris Paul would ask for a lot to play with LeBron.
No, but the thing is,
Oh,
he has
trade.
he has like a 4-year deal right now with like
Yeah.
40 million per year. They don't have any space for that at all. Which
Unless
is
they trade Anthony Davis.
which they're not gonna do. An Anthony Davis or Chris Paul trade is not
I
happening.
I don't think Oh, well, this is not part of the trade, but I don't think the trade conversation. But I don't think Anthony Davis is gonna stay with the Lakers.
You
for
don't think
long.
so? Is he? He's a
No.
free agent this
He-
summer,
Yeah.
so that'll be interesting.
Uh,
Where do you think you would go? Back to the Pelicans?
Somewhere in
That'd
the
be the
East.
somewhere in the East. I could
Yeah.
see him wanting to go and team up with Siakam,
No,
or
no.
the ultimate. Just
I don't like how you're calling the Raptors Siakam's team though.
whose team is it?
That's Kyle Lowry's team.
Is it
boy.
Kyle Lowry's
Get it
team?
right.
Not in
No,
a
no,
few
no. It's
months when he's
Drake's team.
traded.
He's not gonna get traded.
You don't think so?
Look, what I think is gonna happen is they're gonna get DeRozan back, and once they get DeRozan back,
I
that's
hope
another
so.
championship, baby. Woo!
Could you imagine Lowry, and then put DeRozan, and
Siakam.
then Siakam,
And
AD,
Fred
and
VanVleet and
Gasol?
center at center.
It's championship.
Fred Van.
I could also see him join to the Bucks. That'd be interesting.
Anthony Davis.
Yeah, because I think it was rumored
Really?
last year highly. That'd be something special.
They're all just rumors. I don't know.
Yeah.
I picture him going to the Celtics.
Or the Celtics, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also something.
That's
But that's
kind of
free agency
realistic.
talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that.
Going back to
Free-
the trades,
yeah.
who else do you have on your list?
So I also had Andre Drummond on my list.
Whoa.
Just because
What?
he's a good player, right?
He's the
but-
best player on Detroit. What do you?
Yeah.
Why would
Well,
they get
Blake
rid of
Griffin,
him?
Possibly. Because they've been with Drummond for a lot of years, and it's just not working out so far.
He's not the reason why, though.
But
Look
they,
at all the other pieces they have around him. They try to get Reggie Jackson going, but that didn't happen because he's trash.
But the thing is, they haven't been able to put stuff around them, which I feel like.
Well,
is
how,
why-
okay, how are you supposed to get to the finals when you have teams like back in the past when you had LeBron in your conference, and even if you made it to the finals, you wouldn't have won anyways because Golden State's there. You know, how are you supposed to make
Yeah.
it that far with just Andre Drummond?
But when's the last time that they got out of the first round?
I don't think it's Andre Drummond's fault.
It's not.
It's not
I
Andre.
don't think it's his fault.
It's
But
the organization's fault. If they
I-
really want to win a championship, they have to get more pieces. You know,
But I
to get
think
further
I
in
think
the
they'll look
playoff.
forward, or not look forward to it. But I think going forward, they're gonna definitely put Drummond and Griffin's name out there.
Oh, they
I
have
think,
Griffin too.
just I think for draft picks. I just see kind of a rebuild happening in Detroit in the next few years.
Really?
Yeah, because
They're
it
gonna
just
start
hasn't
over.
worked out recently, and
They're
they
gonna
haven't been
start
able to
over.
put stuff around them. Maybe not start over, but add people
No, they're
to
gonna start over.
like Kennard or someone.
You think they're gonna build around Kennard?
Build around Luke
Dude,
Kennard.
what? Nard
I
dog?
don't
Are
know,
you
man.
serious?
But if you think about it, they could get a lot of good things back for Griffin and Drummond. Like
Yeah, they
draft
can,
picks,
sure.
or
A draft pick and
but
like
I don't know, because just right now I can't
Three
see
role
Drummond
players.
and Griffin both together winning like a playoff series. I just
Okay,
don't see it.
if the Detroit were to trade one of those two, I think it shouldn't be both. It should just be one.
Just one.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be Drummond. It should be Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin, I think, has the
He has more value.
more
No, he
value.
doesn't have more
Yeah.
value. No, he does not.
You don't think so?
No,
He
Drummond
is
is
kind
way
of
better
injury
than Blake
prone,
Griffin.
but
Drummond is way better than Blake
I
Griffin.
just think he's pretty good. But I think at the star
I
level,
just don't understand how you can say Drummond will get traded.
I have a question for you right now.
Okay,
Do
hit me
you
with your
think do you think to trade for
nonsense.
Drummond with D'Angelo Russell, that first pick,
Oh my
and
god.
possibly Pascal, do you think that would go through?
uh,
Get us an all-star guard at 23,
I think that would go through.
Pascal,
Yes, I think that
and
would
that
go through.
pick.
But I wouldn't like that move by the Warriors at
You
all.
wouldn't,
No,
because
because they
yeah,
have a potential pick in James Wiseman who can
yeah,
just replace getting Andre Drummond, and they could keep D'Angelo Russell and Eric Pascal
that's true.
developing with the team.
And
And
from
if they
the
do get traded to Detroit, Detroit wins that easily
yeah,
because they just
they
get
they
another
would
center
have who?
in the
They would
draft.
have Derrick Rose, D'Lo. They would have
Eric Pascal
Pascal,
probably.
Blake Griffin, and Wiseman. That's a
Yeah,
championship five.
that basically is. And you got Luke Kennard coming off the bench. Now,
and
if you
then
add Luke Kennard in that trade, I'll consider it.
and then the Warriors have Curry, Clay, Giannis, Draymond, and
Chill out, bro.
Wiseman.
Okay, so
Drummond.
you said Drummond.
Drummond or Griffin, one of those, I guess.
All right, let's get a little
Something with the
realistic
Pistons.
here.
All right.
We're gonna move back to the Thunder again. I'm gonna go with Danilo. No, no, no. Never mind.
Nope.
Never mind.
Psych.
No, psych. I take that back. Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder.
Yes, Jay Crowder. Memphis Grizzlies. It doesn't really look like he has any value there. He
No.
is, I guess he is their guy. Like he's kind of good, I guess.
Yeah. He could be a good piece to add to a contending team. He's a good role
Yeah,
player.
like the Lakers or something.
If the Lakers, I don't know what they would trade though. You would think
Caruso.
maybe it would be like a Kuzma for Jay Crowder and Iguodala type trade.
Whoa! What the
You don't think
heck?
Kyle
You think
Kuzma and
Kuzma
the
is
pick.
worth that much?
No, but I feel like LeBron wouldn't hesitate to get Kuzma off the roster because he hasn't been.
Really?
I
Well, I
don't
mean,
know.
you
Kuzma,
can't blame Kuzma when you have Anthony Davis and
That's
LeBron.
true.
And Kuzma, it's basically
He has been, he has his. It's one of those things where with the LeBron fans, he does really well and they don't really say anything. But as soon as he starts missing shots, they want him off the team.
yeah.
It's one of those things, which is kind of good for the rest of the league if they lose Kuzma. But I don't know. I feel like Kuzma could find himself on a different team after the trade deadline. That's not one of our people, but they do want Iguodala, and I could see Jay Crowder being thrown in there somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Though I feel like they wouldn't give Iguodala and Jay Crowder to the Lakers. But he could definitely go to a lot of teams. I could see a lot of teams wanting him.
Jay Crowder, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good role player. Maybe not starting, but
No.
off the bench,
Mm-hmm.
very good.
Definitely.
Unless you're like I don't know, Orlando. You need.
I'm not sure. I feel like the Sixers would also be kind of good. To
Oh
get more
yeah,
depth.
but I don't know who they get rid of because they don't have.
I don't. I can't.
Besides their starting lineup.
I can name like 7 players on their team.
Is that Nader guy on their team? Nate,
Isn't
or is he on the OKC?
I think he's on OKC.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Maybe Jokic.
So your third player. Who you
So
think
my
is gonna
third
get-
player. This is kind of. I don't know why I said top 5 and then put kind of 2 players for each of these.
Mhm.
But I had in some way trading either John Wall or Bradley Beal.
Yeah,
for
I
the
see
Wizards.
that. Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of hard because you might want to keep Beal and build around him because just John Wall's had those recent injuries. You don't really know how he's gonna recover.
Yeah.
But John Wall's contract is also really, really big, I guess, lengthy. And I don't think anyone would really want that unless maybe you do kind of a Chris Paul for John Wall for some reason.
What?
I don't know, because they both have too long of contracts with too much money. But that's why it's kind of hard to see John Wall ever getting traded, because you have to trade him with one of those big contracts or like multiple players on one side. But when it comes to Bradley Beal, I could definitely see him being traded a little more likely, I guess. But I don't know who would want them besides obviously we've heard for years the Lakers. But I don't know. I just don't. It's kind of hard in their
Yeah,
situation to trade, even though I feel like that's the right thing to do is to trade one of them because they do have some younger guys on that team that are pretty good, and if you can get some more assets instead of those top two, though Wall and Beal has worked from the time that we've seen it work, but it
yeah.
hasn't really gotten them far in the
Playoffs.
playoffs, which is the only issue.
With Beal and Wall, I kind of see the Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum thing.
Yeah, that's kind of always before CJ and Dame kind of got far in the playoffs recently.
It
It
was John
was
Wall,
it was those
Beal.
two duos that were kind of always in people's heads for being traded.
Yeah. I don't think. Well, how many years has Beal played with Wall?
I will check that really quick.
Probably like 4 years.
They've
It's been
played
4 years.
so the last few years have kind of been just all over the place for that team because there's been injuries here, injuries there. Just what am I trying to say? Just kind of not living up to expectations at certain times. Sometimes
Yeah.
living up to it and whatnot.
They're a team that's definitely struggling, and
Yeah.
they've been struggling for a while. Um, I I wouldn't if I worked for an 18-year-old working for the NBA, whatever. What am I saying? If I worked for the Wizards, like I wouldn't get rid of
You wouldn't?
neither of them.
No. I think they've played for 7 years, by the way,
Uh,
if this is correct.
Counting this year, or like the years.
They
'Cause I
so
remember there was a year where Bradley Beal was injured, wasn't he? And he
well,
didn't.
not counting injuries. They've been on the same roster for 7 years.
Oh, then
Yeah,
not really. So it's been like 4 or 5 years, probably.
possibly, yeah. Because then we have this year. We kind of knew this year wasn't gonna go too well, at least until January or whenever Wall comes back.
Yeah.
But they're not doing too bad without him.
Yeah. No.
And there's
It's
a lot of names on their team that you might have thought like, all right, that team's not gonna do well, but they're actually stepping up. I think Rui Hachimura just got hurt again.
oh damn.
But they found someone in him. He's definitely a good player.
Yeah.
But
Mo Wagner is actually pretty good.
Mo Wagner too, yeah. Which is
Thomas
just
Bryant.
another person that the Lakers got rid of.
Thomas Bryant too, right?
Thomas Bryant too, another player the Lakers got rid of.
SMH.
But yeah, they have some. I think that's one good thing about Wall being out for this year, or not for this year,
If they
but
still had Kelly Oubre right
and
now
Otto Porter. They traded them for
and
like
Otto
nothing.
Porter
That'd be,
for trash, they got what? Bobby Portis, and they
do
just
you
got
do
rid of
you do you
Bobby
remember
Portis.
that they had Wall, they had Beal, Oubre, Otto Porter, and Dwight Howard, and
Yeah.
I think they missed the playoffs that year.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
What happened?
I don't. Okay, maybe. Okay, looking at that, looking at how they used to have them five,
Yeah,
like maybe there is something wrong with Beal or Wall. They should get rid of one of them.
yeah, but now they
But I
don't
think
have those guys. So.
they should try it out. Like once Wall gets back and healthy, probably like you said January,
Mm-hmm.
and they have Thomas Bryant, Rui Hachimura, and like all those other guys back. Do they still have Trevor Ariza?
No, Ariza left, so they traded Oubre pretty much for nothing.
Oh my god.
And then Otto Porter they traded for Saturansky, I think. Or no. Right?
No, for
No.
Portis. Yeah, Sadaransky and Portis.
Yeah, Saturan. But who did they get from the Bulls?
Portis. Bobby Portis.
Oh,
But then
Bobby
he
Portis.
left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he left. Yep. Wait, no, isn't he still there?
No, he's in the Knicks. He's on the Knicks.
You're right. So they traded Porter and they traded Oubre for nothing.
Yep.
Cause Saturansky's gone.
Oh, they're making some wrong mistakes. Well, in that
Yep.
case, I think they should just keep Wall and Beal. Keep adding players to them.
Yep.
They have some decent players, but
And then didn't they trade? They traded Dwight for some money.
I think so.
So
if the Wizards front front office is listening to this,
just
which
stop
they're
it.
probably not.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe because when we
stop it.
look back at it, the Oubre and the Otto Porter trades didn't look like one-sided. They looked like, all right, maybe this will work out for each team.
Not
But
really.
now it absolutely did not. Which now we're looking at, maybe trade Wall or Beal. Maybe that's the same thing. It won't work out at all. So maybe just stick with them.
And if you were to trade either of them, who would you trade them to, and who would you get in the trade?
I feel like
Because like if you look
John
at the
Wall's
Lakers,
really hard to find a trade partner
let's look
with.
at Beal first.
Yeah,
And
Beal
if we look at the
definitely.
Lakers, because the Lakers, I know the Lakers, they look
It's
at
been
Beal, right?
rumored to have him for years.
And they're the only team I know that has shown interest in Bradley Beal,
Yeah,
right? Unless there's other
that is
teams.
true. I haven't really heard any other teams. But I don't know. That I think that's
Who
the
would the
thing is
Lakers
that
trade? No
who would
one.
the Lakers? I mean, Kuzma's got to be in there for
Yeah,
sure.
Kuzma would definitely be in there.
Caruso maybe. They would lose a lot of their people for another star, which is
Yeah,
the issue. I don't know if their cap space can even hold it.
I
So
don't. Yeah,
kind
so
of a
it's not
tough
gonna work.
situation for the Wizards.
The Wizards should just keep Bradley Beal and John Wall, and just like
Just keep them for next
until
year.
they retire,
Until they
or
retire. Yeah.
when their contracts end,
Yeah, which
whenever
I
that
think
is.
John Wall has like 4 more years on his
Damn,
like
how long did he
40
sign
million.
for? Like 10 years?
No, no, he doesn't have 4 years. He has like 2 or 3, I believe. Let me check his contract real quick.
All right.
But
So
yeah,
you said
I said Wall or Bradley Beal.
all right. That was your third, right? So
Yep.
this is my third now.
Yep.
I'm gonna say a player that we haven't seen much from this season, um, Andre Iguodala,
You have that at number 3 or number 2?
number 3.
Okay, I have him at number 2.
Wait,
So
did I
we
say
can
my number
just
3?
I don't know.
No, I didn't say my number 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
Andre Iguodala, and this is your number 2. So we'll
Yeah,
just
that's my number 2. So we just keep it together.
yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't think because he hasn't played at all, and
He hasn't played at
he doesn't.
all. He stayed
He
in the
doesn't.
Bay Area, I think.
Yeah,
He's just there. He's not even
he was like
reported
in
to them.
Alameda or something like
Yeah.
a month ago. I don't. I kind of. He's kind of being a jerk. He's being a jerk
Kinda.
to the Memphis Grizzlies. I know he doesn't really want to play for the Memphis Grizzlies, but you know it's a job. You gotta do your job. I don't know if he's getting paid to not play. Is he?
I think he is.
Oh my
And by
gosh.
the way, John Wall has 3 more years on this contract,
3
including
more
this year, I
years.
believe. Yeah.
What do you have? A 6-year contract?
He signed a 4-year extension in 2018.
Oh, so he signed it before he got injured.
He signed a 4-year extension like
Wow.
a week before he slipped in his house.
Oh. I'm
Tough.
sorry, John Wall. All right. So yeah, Andre Iguodala.
Yep.
Yeah. He's definitely not gonna play in a Grizzlies jersey
No.
this season. But I don't know who would
You,
trade.
you gotta think it's Lakers or Clippers or maybe Rockets.
You can say Lakers, Clippers, or Rockets,
But who
whatever.
do they
But who would they
have
trade?
is the
Who would they
question.
trade for Andre Iguodala to the Memphis
I'm
Grizzlies?
thinking Kuzma. That's the
Kuzma for Iggy.
but I don't know, because
I
they
think
would want someone like Kuzma. They don't want any of the other people on that roster.
how long is Andre Iguodala's contract with the
He
Memphis
has 1 more
Grizzlies?
year.
He signed a 2-year.
No, this is his final year. He never signed with them. He got traded there.
Oh, he got yeah, that's
This is
right.
his final year of his contract.
Uh, I I don't.
Because I
If
think Kuzma's the only one they want. They're probably wanting to get a young player. They're definitely not going to trade for for who? Jared Dudley and Alex Caruso. That's not the trade they're doing. And they don't. If you look at it, they don't really have many young players besides Kuzma.
well, they have LeBron, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard,
Not
Kyle
young.
Kuzma,
Not young.
Caruso, Cousins, who hasn't played
Hasn't
at all.
played. They think he will play though, so he probably won't look to trade him.
Oh
this year.
dang! When he oh man, when he comes back.
I don't
Oh
think he's coming back,
no. Rajon Rondo. They got Kostas Antetokounmpo, Danny Green, KCP, who I think shouldn't even be in the NBA. Avery Bradley, JaVale McGee, Troy Daniels, Quinn Cook hasn't been doing that well this season because he's not in the Warriors jersey. Jared Dudley. And that's about it. I don't know who the other 3 are. They're just
I
random.
think they cut one of those other guys. But yeah, it's hard to see them going to the Lakers unless there's some kind of weird
Even
trade
if he
there.
were to go to the Lakers, I think he would just go straight back to the Bay.
You think they would trade him there for like Kuzma and then he just wouldn't show up?
No,
they
I
get
know he
robbed.
wants to play for a contending team because I know he wants
Yeah.
a ring because Iggy about that money, but he's gonna go back to the Bay next year for sure.
If he plays again.
I think he's gonna play. I think he wants to end it with the Warriors.
Yeah,
Unless I'm totally wrong, man. But he
possibly.
seems to like the
Yeah,
Bay
but then
Area a lot.
also there was rumors that the Grizzlies would be willing to buy him out when it comes time for kind of the buyout time. Even though right now they're saying they won't, they definitely probably want something right now, which is why they're not saying they're gonna buy him out. But that was the Lakers. What about? Could you see him going to the Clippers?
Who would they trade?
Well, that's another thing. Um, who would they trade?
Probably
I
like
feel like Landry Shamet would be a good kind of
probably yeah.
piece to send over there.
Him and like Mark Harkless. What's his name?
Mo Harkless.
Yeah,
I could see
them
that
two.
too. But I would say probably like Shamet in the pick.
How much do
Maybe.
you think
I don't know.
Iggy's worth though at his age?
I feel like it doesn't. It's not how much he's worth. It's how much the Grizzlies are going to want from him, and because they know people want
How
Iggy, so
much?
they're going to
How
put a
much
lot
they
out
think
there.
he's worth? Right.
I think I might just be thinking that I heard something, but I think they said they want a young player and a pick.
Mm, I don't know. At this point, they're just holding Iguodala hostage.
Yeah.
You know,
But I mean, all these teams
against
want
his will.
him, which is why
Yeah.
the value is gonna go up the more they
But
want him.
I don't think any team would be delusional enough to trade
I
good
don't know. I
things
mean,
for Andre
when
Iguodala.
there's a team like the Clippers having all of this, and then you add someone who can guard LeBron or AD, I mean that.
I mean, I don't think he can anymore at this age.
Yeah. The only
Wow.
thing
Deep, deep,
about
deep.
the only thing about the Lakers and about the Clippers is I don't think they can trade any of their picks for now, just because they traded them all, and you can't trade back-to-back years. Because the Clippers traded a ton to what am I trying to say? They traded a ton of picks to the Thunder, and then the Lakers traded a good amount of picks to the Pelicans, which then brings in other teams like maybe the Rockets or the Nuggets who haven't traded picks, but I'm not sure if any of them would try going for him. It seems like one of the LA teams for sure is who's gonna be there for him.
So the LA teams, that's who you say he's going
I
to.
think if he gets traded, it's one of the LA teams.
Let's hope not because they're
Yep.
already good. Well, we're gonna move on to my number two. I'm
Yep.
gonna say Goran Dragic.
Goran Dragic.
Sad little Goran Dragic.
How'd you call him? Dragic.
Dragic. You said
I think
Dragic?
it's Dragic. Is it not?
Dragic. Dragic.
Dragic.
Dragic. Bro, Nikola
Comment your way
Jokic.
of saying it.
Jokic. There's no CH, but they still say k, you know? Jokic.
All right.
Wait, no, wait. Nikola. Oh. Wait, no, I'm right. What the? Anyway,
Who knows?
Goran Dragic, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Dragic. I think he's going to get traded just because Kendrick Nunn. You know? And I don't think Jimmy Butler likes Goran
I
Dragic.
don't know if he's really played that much either.
I don't think he. I think he's been injured for like
And also,
a
he
little
was
while.
traded this offseason, and then they like undid the trade
What?
because they said they didn't want him after all or something. So it came out that he was traded to the Mavs, and then he still had to report to the Heat because it was taken back.
I think at this point in his career, he should just retire, call it quits.
He would
Because
retire. I'm not sure about that. Though there's not
where
many
do you
teams
see him
that
going,
might.
Adam? Where do you see him playing?
The Pistons.
Or maybe the Lakers should pick him up.
Lakers would be interesting. It's just hard for a point guard who's not really at the top of his game right now to
And he can't really compare to
find
other
somewhere.
point guards in the league right now.
Because every team really has a point guard at this point.
Yeah.
That's kind of who everyone
Except
takes
for the
first.
Lakers.
Except for the Lakers, but they have LeBron.
Kind of outdated right now.
I don't know. They have some weird
Like a
roster
slow
over
car, man.
LA.
It's a slow car in a new generation. I don't know what to say.
Yep.
But yeah, if he were to get traded, I see him going to
To the Lakers.
LA.
I definitely could
For
see that.
like
Or maybe he goes to the Mavs again.
maybe,
Gets
but for
traded
who?
there again.
Luca.
For Luca, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like it's only Lakers though, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
At your number one, who do you got? I feel
I
like we got the same person.
I feel like it is the same person. I have Kevin Love.
Yep. I
Yep.
got Kevin Love.
All right. So, oh man, I think Kevin Love's gonna be traded to the Portland Trailblazers. He
Really?
he wants to go there, and I think
But
if
didn't he just sign an extension to with the Cavaliers like
I don't,
this
he
offseason?
signed not this off season, I don't think, but a few off seasons ago possibly. Um, I don't know. You might be right about that one, but I'm not too sure. But it's I don't know because it is hard looking at all his money and all the money in Portland. I don't know if he can really make it there, like with under the cap space.
Yeah.
But if he can, I think that's where he's going to go.
How do you think it would work? Where would they put him?
Power forward.
What about when Nurkic comes back?
That is
Who's
the
starting?
one issue. That is
Yeah.
the issue. I think
Because they
that
have Carmelo Anthony, and I think they should keep Carmelo Anthony in the starting lineup.
I
Even though I
think
bash on him when he came back.
I think Whiteside or Nurkic would. I feel like
So you think they should bench one of those?
I think
Which that
Nurkic
would
at
be a bad
first is
idea.
going to be benched just because he hasn't played in a year.
I'm talking about next season though.
Next
I'm
season,
talking about next season.
that's the issue. Well, we don't know if Carmelo's still going to be there. Did Whiteside sign a multi-year deal?
I'm not. I think so. Yeah.
And then Nurkic, I think, has multiple years left. So it
Mm.
is kind of tough to see him there. But then
Unless Carmelo Anthony leaves to like,
I don't think he would. They took a chance on him. I don't think he's going to go somewhere else.
I feel like he's gonna get a little over himself. Like a little.
Go want to play for the
His
Knicks
his
again.
ego is gonna be like super huge, and he's gonna score 50 points in a game, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, back, baby," and he's gonna want to go to New York or something, go play with LeBron.
Could you see
He's
Kevin
gonna say he
Love
has
being
the same value
traded
of
to the
LeBron.
Knicks?
Kevin Love to the Knicks. Who would they get rid of?
That's the
Julius
issue.
Randle and like
They're
R.J. Barrett.
like three of their power forwards.
That's
They
a
have way
team
too
full
many
of
power
power
forwards.
forwards.
Pretty much.
Why would you
Um,
trade three power forwards for another power forward?
yeah, make room. No, but I would trade. I'm not sure. I think the Knicks. If we were to talk about a team that'd be in, it should be the Knicks that are in this whole
Yeah.
trade conversation. But I doubt they will be, just because they're the
If they
Knicks.
were to trade, I think they should get rid of one of their point guards and a power forward.
I think Marcus Morris would be a huge trade asset for them, just because he's also one of those players like Jay Crowder who is a good role player off the bench who can hit big shots.
The Knicks have too many point guards and too many power
Yep,
forwards.
they just spread him across the whole roster.
No shooting guards, no small
Yeah,
forwards.
well,
Okay, you get
RJ
like
kind of
two small
plays shooting
forwards. You
guard.
got two small forwards. Sure, you got RJ, but who else?
Julius Randle, they have at small forward starting, I believe.
I think they should get rid of either Frank Ntilikina,
Yep.
Dennis Smith Jr., Alfred Payton, and Alonzo Trier. One of those four, or two of those four, paired up with like Bobby Portis, Hodge Gibson. I don't know. Julius Randle, sure, if you want to throw him in there for Kevin Love.
I don't think they
Because
would
I
trade
mean,
Randall. I think that's one. Him and RJ, I feel like, and Mitchell Robinson probably are like the only
you think they're locked in?
locked in guys. Yeah. I think
But for
that's what
Kevin
their
Love, though,
future is right
Kevin
now.
Love, though,
For Kevin Love's kind of getting up there though in the age.
Julius Randle for Kevin Love, though,
Julius Randle, I think. I don't know.
Julius Randle for Kevin Love, though.
If the Knicks were somewhat contending right now, I would say yes, because that's good for the Cavs to kind of get a younger guy. But I don't think it's good for the Knicks to pick up Kevin Love if it is with sending away one of their younger guys. I just don't see really the purpose in that one.
I don't think the Cavs would take
You don't
another
think they would
power
take
forward
Randall?
besides Julius Randle, though.
Oh, that's true. Well, where else do you see Kevin Love going, if not to the Knicks?
If not to the
I
Knicks
have one
or
other
to the
option, but I doubt
Trailblazers,
it. Yeah,
um, nowhere else really.
no.
There's like those are probably two only good fits.
There's the one person yelling the Lakers, but I doubt LeBron wants to play with them anymore.
Yeah,
And
no.
then besides them, I mean, the Rockets, I feel like could work.
Nah,
You don't think so?
nah.
Have him in the starting lineup. Have Eric Gordon off the bench again. I think the Rockets are also one of those teams that'll be in the trade discussion just because they're
The
kind of
Rockets are
underperforming.
the team that You can add any player too, honestly.
Yeah, and they need someone like Kevin Love. He's kind of him or J.R. Smith. Just people like that are the type of players that they kind of would want to add.
Yeah.
Which is why I could see him. Actually, that's probably the most likely one. Unless you want to maybe say him to the Heat. Maybe that could work.
Y- maybe, maybe.
Or
Who do
could
they
you
have at power
see
forward?
at power forward? I'm not actually too sure.
Because I know they don't have what's his name at point guard anymore. Justice Winslow, and he came into the
No,
league
they
as a
don't.
power forward, but I'm not sure if he's playing that power forward spot.
They have. I feel like they keep changing their lineup this year, just because I can't really remember someone who I've seen at power forward multiple times. I feel like it's always
Maybe
changing.
that one dude with the headband, bunch of tattoos. I
There's a
don't know
lot
his
of
name.
those.
That
Let me
describes like two
actually
players in the league.
let me look up who their main
2,000
team is
players.
right now.
But yeah, you got Kevin Love, huh? Kevin Love.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he's the one guy who has been in the media being talked about. So apparently they want to move on from Dion Waiters, by the way, the Heat do. I don't know if he's someone who will be traded, though. I feel like with what he's been kind of doing, no one's going to really want him. With the scandals, I guess, recently.
I guess, yeah.
Let's
Maybe
see.
his career's over. Who knows?
Yeah.
But with
So,
all the, I'm sorry.
well, I was looking at the starting lineup, but it doesn't have Jimmy Butler in it, so I'm kind of confused.
Okay.
I think
Who does it have at
Myers
power
Leonard
forward
is
though?
right there. I don't know.
Oh, that's right.
They have a lot of players that can fill in that spot.
Heat are good. The Heat are good. I don't think they need Kevin Love.
No. I don't know if anyone
But
needs
with all
Kevin Love.
those players we did name, there's no really set team they would go to. It's just
Yeah.
the league. Each team has their own like, they have good players, but I don't think they would trade for any of the people we named.
Yeah.
I do want to bring up one honorable mention though, because I don't know how this would work. D'Angelo Russell. I think he's gonna leave. I think they're gonna trade him in the offseason.
I mean, I could see that, but I feel like they wouldn't. I don't know. That's also a story that we'll be probably debating all the way until something does happen,
Yeah.
whether or not he gets traded.
Maybe like mid next season, they'll see what
Yeah,
they're gonna do
I
with him
would definitely want them to try a full season, or at least a good amount of a season,
with
with
everyone healthy.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they haven't seen that full. Because maybe it does work really well, just because it's a lot different of a game when it's Curry, D'Lo, and Clay all out there than if it was just who we had this year.
Yeah.
So it could definitely change. Well, but that's something we'll have to see as next season goes on, I guess. Or if they both somehow return this year, which I doubt.
I mean, I don't know. D'Angelo Russell, I don't know if that's gonna work. I want to bring up one thing before we close it off today.
Hmm.
Um, our beloved David Stern is unfortunately in the hospital and remains in serious condition. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. Hopefully, he has a speedy recovery. I'm not sure what he's been suffering. A brain hemorrhage?
Yes, I believe so.
Sounds very, very terrifying. Um, but yeah, that's going to close it off for this basketball talk podcast. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on our social media for news on sports. We're going to expand to more sports in the future, and we're going to, yeah, broaden things up a bit. Thanks
Yep.
for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your week. Badoo badoo.